The desert was burning red when Jacob Turner first saw her, an Apache woman stumbling alone across the barren land, half collapsed, her hands trembling as if fighting a battle her body had already lost. He had seen wounded animals before, lost ranchers, and broken-hearted drifters, but never had he seen someone walk with such fierce determination while clearly standing at the edge of death. That moment, her silhouette against the sinking sun, felt like the desert itself whispering that his life was about to change. Jacob didn't know her name. Didn't know her story. All he knew was that she was hurt, desperate, and alone. And something in him, something he had long buried, told him to ride toward her. He didn't hesitate. He never did when someone needed help. "Ma'am, can you hear me?" Jacob asked as he knelt beside her. She blinked up at him, her dark eyes sharp even in weakness. "Water," she whispered. Jacob lifted his canteen to her lips. Her hands shook so violently that he held the canteen for her, guiding each sip. When she finally breathed steady again, she looked at him with a mix of suspicion and gratitude. "My name's Jacob Turner," he said gently. "You're safe now." Her voice was hoarse. "Nyola," she said. "My name is Nyola." He noticed the bruises on her wrists, the dried blood along her arm, and the way she flinched at the sound of distant hoofbeats. Someone had been chasing her. Jacob didn't ask questions. Not yet. Carefully, he lifted her onto his horse and rode toward his small desert ranch, toward safety. Jacob lived alone on the edge of Arizona territory, in a wooden cabin built with his own hands. He had once dreamed of filling it with a family, laughter, and the warmth of partnership. But life had dealt him cards he never asked for, a lost wife, a lonely ranch, and a heart that slowly forgot how to hope. Helping people was the one thing that still made him feel human. That night, he cleaned Nyola's wounds, prepared her a warm broth, and offered her his bed while he slept on the floor. She watched him with curiosity, as if trying to understand why a stranger would go so far for her. "You saved my life," she said quietly. "Anyone would have done it," Jacob replied. "No," she corrected. "Many would have looked away." Her words hit deeper than she could know. In the morning, she confessed the truth. "I escaped," Nyola said as she wrapped a makeshift shawl around her shoulders. "Men took me from my people. They thought they could sell me. I fought my way out. I ran for 2 days." Jacob felt anger burn through his chest. "They won't come near my land," he assured. "You're safe." Nyola studied him, really studied him. "Why do you live alone, Jacob Turner?" He hesitated. No one had asked in years. "My wife died," he said simply. "After that, I didn't know how to let anyone close again." Nyola nodded slowly, as if she understood this kind of loneliness more than most. "Sometimes," she said softly, "we think our hearts are protecting us. But really, they're just afraid." Her words stirred something deep inside him, something he thought had turned to dust. Over the next days, Nyola regained strength, but she didn't rush to leave. She helped Jacob tend the horses, whispered calming words in Apache that even the wildest stallion listened to, and cooked meals that filled the cabin with warmth Jacob hadn't felt in years. In return, he repaired her moccasins, gave her a warm coat, and taught her how to ride a horse safely across open land. Their bond grew quietly, through shared silence, gentle smiles, and stories told under the desert moon. One night, as they sat outside watching the stars, Nyola finally said, "You carry sorrow like a shadow following your steps." Jacob didn't deny it. "You think kindness is something you owe the world," she continued. "But you give too much and take too little." Jacob looked down at his hands, calloused, worn, lonely. "I don't know what else I have to offer." "You have a good heart," Nyola said. "But even good hearts need someone to hold them." Her voice trembled slightly, as if she spoke not just to him, but to herself. Just when peace felt possible again, they heard gunshots in the distance. Jacob's heart tightened. "They found you." Nyola's eyes burned with fear, not for herself, but for him. Jacob, they'll kill you. Leave me. Save yourself. He shook his head. Not a chance. Within minutes, 3 riders thundered toward the ranch. Jacob grabbed his rifle and positioned himself between Nyola and danger. You want her, Jacob shouted across the sand. You'll have to go through me. The men laughed, underestimating the quiet cowboy standing alone. They shouldn't have. Jacob fired a warning shot that sent one rider's hat flying. The others rushed forward, and Jacob met their attack with unwavering courage. He fought fiercely, protecting Nyola as if protecting a part of himself he had forgotten. At the end of the fight, 2 men fled, and the other lay unconscious on the ground. Jacob stood breathless, bruised, and victorious. Nyola ran to him, tears in her eyes. She placed her hands on his cheeks and whispered, "You risked everything. For you," he said simply. "I'd do it again." Later that evening, as Jacob cleaned the scrapes on his arms, Nyola sat beside him silently. Her hands trembled, not from fear, but from the weight of unspoken truth. "Jacob Turner," she began softly, "do you know why I stayed?" He didn't answer. She placed her hand over his, steady, warm, certain. "Because you need a woman like me." Jacob looked at her, startled. Nyola's eyes shone with certainty and emotion. Someone who sees the kindness you hide behind silence. Someone who knows how to heal wounds that are not of the flesh. Someone who knows that a lonely heart is still a heart worth loving. Jacob felt his breath catch. "You think you saved my life," she continued. "But maybe I was meant to save yours too." In that moment, under lantern light, with the desert wind whispering through the cracks of the old cabin, Jacob realized something profound. He hadn't just saved her. She had healed him. The next morning, as the sun warmed the horizon, Nyola packed a small bag. "My people are not far," she said. "I must return. They will worry." Jacob nodded, trying to hide the ache in his chest. "I understand. But before I go," she added, stepping close, "I want you to hear this." She placed his hand over her heartbeat. "You showed me courage when I had none left. You offered kindness when I had no home. You gave me hope when I believed the world had forgotten me." Her voice wavered. "So remember this, Jacob Turner, great men are not made by strength, they are made by the love they dare to give." She leaned forward and pressed her forehead to his, a gesture of deep honor in her culture. "I will return," she whispered. "If you want me to." Jacob's voice cracked. "I do." Nyola left that day, walking toward her people with renewed strength, knowing she would come back to the man who had fought for her without hesitation. Jacob watched her disappear into the rising sun, not with sadness, but with hope he thought he'd lost forever. He finally understood something powerful. Kindness didn't weaken a man. Love didn't betray him. And opening his heart again wasn't a risk, it was a gift. For the first time in years, Jacob felt alive. He saddled his horse and looked out at the endless desert, the place where fate had brought them together. "She'll come back," he told himself with a smile. "And this time, I won't let fear stop me from living." The desert wind carried his words far across the land, full of promise, healing, and the quiet strength of a man reborn. Because sometimes, the right person walks into your life when hope seems lost. And sometimes, you really do need a woman like her.